is for you.
Remember the name.
Sports Talk Zone. Welcome back to another week of Sports Talk Zone. I am your host Ranorjah along with Mickhail, aka the Guru. Mickhail, let's start off with football. Real Madrid has secured their 14th Champions League title by defeating Liverpool 1-0. How did this happen?
My friend, how are you feeling tonight?
Not so great. Been battered since yesterday until tonight.
But trust me, this was something else. This was like, I don't even know how to explain the game. It was different in different phases. Because initially, probably the first 10 minutes, it was just barely tentative and just nobody really trying to make that first move, just seeing out each other. And then for probably the next, I'll say
90 minutes.
Was all
next 90 minutes.
For the next 35 minutes, literally it was all Liverpool, and you just see everybody would say that Liverpool will score sooner or later because they just keep knocking at the door. And Quarter had to be making some saves on top of save. I don't know. It was just Liverpool was just there. Because right at the halftime, it was literally Liverpool took about 8 shots, 5 on target. Madrid 0 shots, 0 on target. Before the half finished, there was that controversial goal that everybody thought.
It wasn't controversial, it was outside.
Of course it was.
No. It wasn't controversial, it was outside.
The mere fact, even VAR took so long to make a decision. Even the commentators were saying, if VAR take that long, normally it will go towards a goal.
No, VAR
played that ball back. It played that ball back to Benzema.
Which defender played that ball back?
Fabinho, the ball came off.
Was that a direct attempt at playing the ball back?
He hit the ball.
Answer the question. Was it a direct attempt at playing back the ball? Come on, man.
The ball came off his foot.
Offside.
But either way, they call it offside.
Madrid win. That's all that matters. That's what matters.
But trust me, that was a brilliant goal in the second half by Vinicius Jr. You see, I don't know, this is a classic example of what some persons will say, play better but you still lose. But we always say at the end of the day, the aim is to put the ball in the back of the net. So all your positions, all your shot doesn't count for anything.
I always
put the ball in the back of the net.
Yep. I always say to you that the only stat that really matter in football is the scoreline. The rest of stats, you can deem them insignificant to an extent, because you can see some team will play very defensive, so other team will have more shots than them and whatever the case may be, but they will take their chances on the counter. And that is pretty much what happened in this game. Real Madrid got like maybe 3 or 4 chances. I don't know how many chances they got, but I know it wasn't a lot. I can't remember Alisson making any saves. Don't remember Alisson making. Maybe one save. But overall, the game was dominated by Liverpool. But this is the thing with Real Madrid. If you're not able to take your chances, they're going to punish you at some point. And we see it happen right through the entire competition with them. PSG, Man City, Chelsea, and now Liverpool got to put team like that away. They are not the team that need all the chances in the world to make it pay. They just need the right opportunity. They just need 5 minutes in the game or 10 minutes in the game to go their way. Just that little moment in the game for them to get maybe 2 or 3 chances, and all of a sudden you find yourself in a war. So that is pretty much what happened. I would have to say this is probably the greatest Champions League run we have ever seen in the history of Well, I don't know if it's in the history of Champions League, but this has been the greatest Champions League run we have seen since being alive, because they took down four of the top favorites in the league, in the competition, to win the title. And also, in all of these games, we can argue that Madrid was the worst team. They did not outplay any of these teams. They just happened to win the game. So this got to be up there. City.
Especially against Man City. Exactly. Yeah. Because even that first leg, and that's where I wanted to say that they should have easily been down by even 6. As I said, if you don't take a chances, Man City is a prime example of that. Because in that game, if they have taken all those chances, it would be City possibly in the final.
Yep. And you just got to throw all the praises in the world also on the keeper. The keeper was immense. Could not be beaten for nothing. I have to wonder if Real Madrid under some strong mobile. Them guard up. They have all them science ring.
It was just, as I said, probably first thing was destiny. It was just destiny taking down, as I said.
We had spoken about this earlier in the competition that it was pretty much ordained or written in the stars for Madrid to win title, just based off the teams that they were beating and based on how they beat them. They did not beat them in a manner where you will see like, oh, Madrid was the best team. Well, it was just moments, some magical moments they used to get over the line, right? If you go back to the City game, a goal in the 98th minute, a goal in the 91st minute, send it to extra time, win. The Chelsea game, something pretty much similar. Chelsea up 3-0 with less than 10 minutes to go. We are thinking Chelsea gonna take it over the line. In that same game, there was a chance. Was it? I think it was Alonso, where the ball hit his hand and he scored and they had to chalk it off. Remember? They had to chalk it off, and then Madrid end up scoring, and then extra time, Madrid again. So it's like everything just always work out for them perfectly. I'm proud of Liverpool. Same way, we give it our best. We definitely did everything we could do. Just could not beat the keeper that day. And I don't know. It's a kind of a bittersweet moment because it's a great accomplishment. First team to ever achieve being in every single game that they could play in a season, but to only walk away with the 2 minor trophies. It's still an accomplishment, but I feel like I don't want to use the word underachieve. I feel like I would have hoped we had done better.
Well, I'll say that you guys had an exceptional season, honestly, because as I said, the quadruple was being talked about and not very much teams even had that opportunity. And in 2
never been done. Never been done. No team in the history has never played every single game that they could play for a season.
And you guys, as I said, played every game. You just came up short in 1 by 1 point.
The major ones, yes.
1 by 1 point, and then 1 by 1 goal down. But it's not bad, and then 2 cup trophies. So it's not a bad season. Nothing to be sad about. Nothing to say we're underachieved. It's a good season for Liverpool.
Yeah, I agree with you. But as a fan, you want more. But yeah, I agree with you. It was still an exceptional season.
Because I'm sure you would have wanted to win everything.
Exactly. So I could come and gloat and talk crazy, but I have to be humble. You know? All right, let's talk about Sadio Mane getting ready to leave Liverpool. Say he is in need of a new challenge. Will this change anything at Liverpool? Will this be a good situation for Mane moving on from Liverpool? What do you think this means?
Well, as he said, he's looking something new in his career, basically, because he has been at Liverpool since 2016, where he came from Southampton. And playing for Liverpool, he has played 269 games and scored 120 goals. He has had a brilliant career at Liverpool. It is being rumored that he's linked to go with Bayern. We don't know if that will be true. Let's see what the transfer window is linked to move with Bayern Munich. But let's see if it's true. We have to wait until the transfer window to see if that actually happens. But we know it doesn't make sense he goes to an ex-Premier League team because they will be in the same competition. I guess he wants to go outside of England now. But will it change anything at Liverpool? I doubt it. Even though at times he
was like
is that dominant. Yeah, he was like the best.
Was a very important piece to the team.
Luis Diaz coming in, Jota is there. persons who can fit in and, you know, support that role. Maybe not in the same manner as him, but they're pretty decent.
But this is something I tend to notice with players of recently. Players of recently, when they leave from Liverpool, from under the old club management, they tend to kind of not live up to the same expectation as when they were at Liverpool. So I don't know if it will be the same thing for Sadio Mane, because at Liverpool he got significantly better compared to when he was at Southampton. But I would still expect him to maintain the same level, the same quality wherever he goes. But I would not be surprised if he also struggled to live up to the expectations. But yeah, best of luck, wishes, all that to Sadio. He has been a great servant to the club. And I am hoping that, you know, fans, a lot of fans, they get their feelings and start to be mean to players when they decide that they want to leave the club. Remember, players are human beings and they have to do what's best for their career also. And whenever they are not doing well at your club, remember, the club will not be hesitant to get rid of them.
And also, I think that maybe the money that they're paying him.
Yeah, you know, Liverpool have a strict budget that they work on.
Because he's actually just barely getting £100,000 per week compared
for the type of
players.
player. Yeah, for the type of player he is, he should be on a much bigger wage. That's true.
Even Chamberlain is getting more than him.
Your agent got to be better, bro.
All the best of luck for him wherever he ends up.
I agree with that. All right, let's go over to track and field. The Prefontaine Classic recently happened, Mickhail. Elaine Thompson era won the star-studded 100-meter race where Sha'Carri Richardson finished second and Shericka Jackson finished third. What do you think about Elaine in that race? Impressive? Won in 10.792, right?
Very competitive field. We are looking forward to this race. A lot of big names. Dina Asher-Smith, Alicia Sha'Carri, Shericka Jackson, Elaine Thompson.
Hello.
It was a very, hats off to Elaine, as it's a bigger up for winning that race. This is where she actually ran her fastest time, got her PB, that 10.54.
Yes.
So persons were maybe anticipating it would be another fast time, but it wasn't as fast as what we were expecting. I'm not saying that 10.7 is not a fast time.
No, it's
exactly.
You know what I realize also? We have become kind of used to these athletes running 10.7 so consistently that when they do it, we think it's just like a given. It's not easy. Not easy.
Exactly. So, yeah, and not a bad run from your good friend Sha'Carri. She came second, even though it was like a photo finish because she and Shericka had the same exact time, 10.92, but you know, they gave it to her.
Were you surprised that she came second?
Honestly, I was. And surprisingly, our young Jamaican Brianna came last.
Coming off an injury.
I know, but probably she needs to join Steve Francis camp or one of those camps.
Say that louder. I think she has great potential, but
yes,
I don't think Otto is the man for her. I think she needs to come to the homeland and get in with the MVP.
I'm sure she'll grow and get better because we would love to see that happen.
I agree. 200 meter now. Shelly-Ann Fraser finished first in a time of 22.41. Not very fast, but I think this is her first 200 meter of the year, so this is a fairly decent time. And
I was wondering when I saw this race if it's anything, a preview of what's to come for the World Championship. Will she be running the 200 this trip, or will she just be sticking to the 100 meters? She's just using this to help her with her finish because we know she have a great start, but after probably that first 60 to 70 meters, persons normally catch up on her. So,
no, not person. Not persons. Person.
It's a person.
Yeah.
No, but funny enough, remember, even at the Olympics, Shericka was catching up on her. So
Shericka's a 400 meter runner, bro.
But that's what I'm saying. So probably she needs to work on her endurance to hold out for that 100 meters. So I'd love to see her in the 200 at the World Championship. So let's see what will happen. But as I said, great season opener for her. She won the race. So
she's the defending champion for the 100 meters, so she won't even have to compete at trials for that. So I guess she will just be focusing on the 200.
Let's see. I hope so.
All right, let's talk NBA playoff. Mickhail, you're supposed to be a very happy man today. All right, let's talk about the Western Conference Finals. Golden State Warriors gave the Dallas Mavericks a little gentleman sweep and sent them home. How was that series for you?
Well, I had said Golden State Warriors will win this series, and so said, so done. Dallas Mavericks, they did put up a little bit of fight, but the firepower of Golden State was too much. And as I said, gentleman sweep. Luka needed more help. Clay came up big in that last game. Curry, Poole, their player Draymond in the mix. But yeah,
everybody that you don't like is my player or my person.
I don't know, man. But yeah, it's very impressive. As I said, 6 finals in 8 years, and I must say, it's just because they had injuries in those 2 years, or possibly could have been 8 in 8. Who's to tell?
Here's my question for you. How would this affect how we view Kevin Durant if the Warriors go on to win this?
Well, as I had said before, it will give him 2 asterisks beside his title, even though, yes, he won a title, but it's that team that made it to the finals before you came there, and a team made it to the finals after you left there. Unlike many of these teams that LeBron James have been on, when he left, they became washed. So this shows that he actually just piggybacked on a great team. Not saying that he wasn't an important player, and because he won 2 finals MVP, which he deserved. I'm gonna tell you, he deserved those because he was the best player in the series. But the team was already stacked on an excellent team before you got there, bro. You just added, it was like a cheat code, as most persons say.
So you think Kevin Durant would have to win in Brooklyn or somewhere else in order to solidify his legacy as one of the greatest ever?
Hey, honestly, at the end of the day,
in order to be in the greatest ever conversation, you gotta have rings to go with it. You are saying asterisks are at his rings, then people go and disregard it.
But looking at it 10, 15 years, maybe 20 years from now, person's just gonna look Kevin Durant, 2 rings. They're not gonna say, "Oh, he was on this team with these players."
I don't know, because Golden State has been a while now, and every chance people get, they still talk about that.
I think his individual performance and accolades speak for themselves to speak of his greatness. He is a great player, and as I said, he got 2 rings, 2 finals MVP. Funny enough, Steph Curry has 0 finals MVP. So
the Western Conference Finals MVP.
The first, this is just being made. I'm sure if this was made 10 years ago, someone else would have had several of these, but just
who is this person?
The King James, man.
He would have had 10 because he had been to 10 finals.
Possibly, but I don't know what was the purpose of this. To me, it wasn't necessary, because
I like it.
Going to argue each round then should get an MVP.
No, finals.
First round, second round.
No, just the conference finals and the final. I agree with it, because you got to give something for the best player in the West, the best player in the East. No, I agree with it. I like it. They should have come up with that idea a long time ago. It makes so much sense. All right, let's move on to your favorite series. Boston Celtics versus Miami Heat. Miami Heat managed to force a game 7, but could not get the job done at home, and they fell short of making it to the finals. So it would be the Golden State Warriors and the Boston Celtics in the finals. How are you feeling about that?
Well, what you said earlier, every time I make a prediction about Miami, I'm wrong. And I told you what?
Said Boston in 6. Said
Well,
Boston in
7.
6. You said technically Boston sweep.
Right. I might say I'm impressed with how Miami pushed them. Jimmy Buckets is great, man. He is great. Hats off to Miami coming this far. But Boston played really well, pushed them. Even in the game 7, Miami was making a bit of a comeback right then and there.
Bit of a comeback. They made the comeback.
Well,
just that.
If you want to say that, but they didn't actually level the points or went ahead. But they were coming right up until they were 2 points behind. They had a defensive stop. Jimmy Buckets running down, wide open. They drive to the basket. Being a poor 3-point shooter, 29% career point, 3-point shooter. I don't know what he think he was doing. And go for that 3, miss that shot. Person might say, hey,
you live and you die by that, bro. You live and you die by it.
If it's not your strength, don't do it.
I personally would agree with you that, hey, take it to the basket, try even the score or even get a call or something of that sort.
Exactly.
And take the 3-pointer. But if you hit that 3-pointer, bro, the place goes wide. You know what I'm saying? The place goes wide if that 3-pointer went in. So it's just something, and he's the best player on the team, right? So it's just something you got to live or die with. This is what I would say. Everyone, Celtics, the media, Celtics, everywhere you go, so everyone counted out the Miami Heat. No one had us to even go the distance with Boston. We did it, and the truth is, if we were able to just hit better shots, would have been in it. We would have been in the finals. Just that couple of the games we were just outright terrible shooting the ball. But congrats to Boston Celtics. What do you think gonna happen in the finals?
So for the finals, Boston versus Golden State Warriors, I have to stick with what I had said. I told you from that Boston Milwaukee series. Boston Milwaukee. Whoever wins that is winning the chip. So I got Boston.
You think Boston is a better team than Golden State Warriors?
I got Boston winning the chip.
No, I'm just asking. You think Boston is a better team than Golden State Warriors?
Man for man, probably I would say.
Not man for man,
more
team.
Quality.
It's a better team.
Yes, I'm breaking down the team. So I'm saying probably honestly it's very difficult. Honestly.
I don't think it's difficult. I think Golden State Warriors are way better.
I know you're gonna say that
than Boston.
All right. So forward for the Golden State, we have Andrew Wiggins, and we're gonna use Tatum.
All right, Tatum better than Wiggins.
All right, for the next forward, we have Draymond Green versus Al Horford. Who you got?
Offensively, Horford.
All right, at center, we have Kevon Looney versus Robin Williams. Looney's been playing big recently. He's coming up big. All right, so at the guard, we have Klay Thompson versus Jaylen Brown.
Hey.
And the next guard, we have Steph versus Marcus.
Let's not even talk about that. That's
So you're saying then Golden State better team offensively. As I said, there's a 2-part of this game, the defensive aspect.
Okay.
And Boston is the number 1 defensive team. So let's go again. Andrew Wiggins versus Tatum defensively. Who is better?
Wiggins.
Okay, that's your opinion.
No, that's a fact. No, that is not an opinion. That's a fact.
That's your opinion. Let's move on. Draymond Green versus Horford defensively.
Draymond Green. Fact.
Okay. Looney versus Williams.
I would put that as a tie. Or maybe give Robert the edge.
Jaylen Brown versus Klay.
Hey.
Smart versus Curry. What are you even thinking about?
Think about Okay, Smart. What's he? Golden State better, bro. They also have enough depth. Bench is not bad.
Yeah, because they have Poole and Kuminga come off the bench.
And they're going to get back Gary Payton Jr.
But let's see. I'm picking Boston. Boston in 6.
Boston might get sweep, but Boston in 6.
So you're saying Golden State will sweep Boston? That's what you're saying?
I said they might. I don't think they're going to get sweep, though. I think it might be a 6-7 game series. I think Boston have a little bit of heart in them. And they've been trying to get to this stage for so long. They've been to the conference final so many times. Stopped by, I guess, LeBron, Kawhi. You know?
So it's their time to shine now, eh?
Fortunately, they end up in the final with another monster. So just gonna be a series, just gonna be another series like any other series because they ain't gonna win. You know, I don't believe in runner-up. If you're Liverpool.
Well, just to say that Boston versus Golden State in the regular series
split.
Actually, it was a split. Yeah, so these two teams, it's not no one-sided affair. It's gonna be
one-sided affair, man. The Golden State Warriors gonna walk on them. Walk. You understand? Walk on them. Jesus, walk. Huh?
You hear it.
Walk the Golden State. Wash them.
And that concluded for another week of Sports Dog Zone. You can check us out on all streaming platforms and also on Instagram at Sports Dog Zone 876.